Hello, 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 welcome to Firearms of America, and today we have another Bates boots review, and this is Bates Tactical Sport. And honestly, I don't know why it's called sport, because it has nothing to do really with being sporty in any way. To give you a brief overview, if you don't have time to watch the whole review, I do have several complaints about the comfort level of this boot. I will talk about it in detail later in the review. Currently, this boots run for about $75, $76 on Amazon. The reviews are very good, and of course, most of you guys are familiar with the Bates brand. It's a popular brand. Most of the law enforcement, security officers prefer Bates boots for their full-time jobs. But like I said, I was not very impressed with the comfort level of this boots, and I'll talk a little bit about it later. If you have time for the whole review, let's get straight into it. So, as some of you already know, this review is specifically for my Ultimate Survival Boots section. Basically, if these Bates Tactical Sport boots were the very last boots that you put on and something really bad happened, maybe you had this boot hanging in your closet for a special occasion, and the special occasion happened, or you were wearing them as part of your job and something really bad happened, and you had to wear these boots for extended periods of time, walk for a long periods of time to get to safety on the way, maybe run, fight, climb, do all of these things that are necessary for your survival. Would this be a good option for your survival? Let's get into it. Let's start the review. So the very first criterion that we base our judgment on is, of course, the most important one, the comfort level. So, as I have said, I am not very impressed with the comfort level of this boot. In order to test the comfort level, what I do is I do a 3-mile run without stopping, and then a 5-mile walk, again without stopping. The wear time is about 7 to 8 hours, so almost like a full shift, right? It was really hard to run in this boots. It was extremely hard, probably the hardest boots to run in. And a few things that make it really hard. First of all, let's get this out of the way. The weight. The weight of this boots is actually not that bad. 21.8, a little bit over 20 ounce. Usually I say that, whenever it comes to boots that you want to do some running in and you want to wear for extended periods of time, I would stick with anything under 20, but a little bit over 20 is not that bad. 21.8 is not that bad. It wasn't really the main issue with running. The main issue that I had with running is the inflexibility of the bottom sole, and it is very hard. But not only that, it is just that the outsole is so hard, it is also the shape of the boot itself. Basically, whenever you're putting your foot in and whenever you're running, you don't really have enough of that space to kind of give you that, not the wraparound feeling, but to give you that arch support. And whenever you're running, basically what you have is you have the front of your foot, this top, just basically smashing into the front of the shaft. Not only that, aside from this, for some reason, Bates, they decided to leave out, and I will try to show you. Let me get in here by opening the zipper. As you can see, from this tongue, this piece of material going, and this one actually feels very sharp. I don't know why Bates decided to leave this piece of material just sticking out like that, and I know it doesn't look like anything right now in the video, but whenever you're running, this little piece of material, and it's actually on both sides, just keeps stabbing you. So unless you're wearing a very thick pair of socks, these areas they will get really fatigued by just rubbing over that piece of material. Another little complaint that I have, not a huge deal, but is that there isn't really anything going on in the toe box, on the top of the toe box. So there isn't really any kind of protection. It's this very hard leather, right? This material is very hard, and it's the same hard material from the inside, so there is really no cushioning. Again, whenever you're running, if you're not wearing thicker socks, you have your toes just banging on this material from the inside, and it doesn't feel very nice. Now the inner sole is actually not that bad. I do like it. It is nicely shaped. It has a very good bed, kind of nicely shaped for your heel, so it holds your heel in place, and as you can see, it is actually vented, so it is fairly breathable. It does feel very nicely, very firm, very jelly, so not that bad. But however, because the outsole is not flexible at all, really, it's practically impossible to run properly in this boot. So a lot of that impact comes down on your heel, on your ankles, and on your knees. So whenever it comes to the comfort level of these boots, I would not give these boots anything bigger than a 6 out of 10. Definitely. I mean, you know, these boots are popular and they are number one choice, but I think Bates could do a much better job whenever it comes to comfort level. Alright, so let's move on to the criteria number 2, proofing and protection. Now, first of all, proofing, let's get this out of the way. These boots are not waterproof. I'm not sure, honestly, why. I think Bates, they could have done easily if they did a gusseted tongue, which they could have, but they didn't for whatever reason. So it's not gusseted at all. So it really doesn't make any difference that you're wearing a boot, an 8-inch tall boot, because your tongue is just open, and if you step in the creek just this deep, you know, the water will get straight into your foot. So again, a little bit of something that something that I do not understand why Bates did that. Okay, let's talk about the protection a little bit. The toe is harder, although it is not reinforced in any way. So if you drop something heavy, you definitely will feel the impact. The ankles, there is no protection on the ankles, really, at all. It's really just that thin synthetic material. So again, your ankles are not really protected in any way. In fact, here on this side, because you have that zipper, if you hit it from this side, you will feel a little bit more because there is a zipper. And then on the back, the heel, again, the same exact material as the front, as the toe box. You do have a little bit of that extra reinforcement from this leather, you know, material, but again, not much. And as a part of course, proofing and protection, you know, the outsole is advertised as slip and oil resistant, but we will talk about the outsole later in the review. Okay, let's move on to the criteria number 3, quality and the design features. Now, these boots, people do like them. They are very popular. I mean, like I said, Bates, they are very popular tactical boots, some of the most popular tactical boots out there. And the ratings and the reviews on Amazon can't tell you all about it. There are almost 1,900 reviews on Amazon, and almost 5 stars. So people do like this boot overall. I know I'm being hard on the comfort level and everything, but this is just what I do, you know. I point out all the little things here and there. Now let's talk about the design features. Here, let's talk about the lacing system. As you can see, there isn't really much going on here in the lacing system. There is a pair of open hooks here on the bottom, which I am not entirely sure why it is an open hook. Doesn't seem like a really, you know, serving any purpose in any way. They could have just done a close hook, like right here, for example. There are 2 pairs of close hooks, and then there is a regular hole. The lacing system itself works fine. It would have been pain if this wasn't a zip. So of course the side zip definitely helps whenever it comes to, how fast you put on and take off this boot. Alright, so that was the quality and design features. Let's move on to the criteria number 4, the outsole traction and stability. Now I test all my boots on a variety of different surfaces. I start with my run on the tarmac and asphalt, and then I switch to the rocky road. I also test them on the sand, dry sand, wet sand, grass, wet grass, trail surface, and of course the flat shiny surfaces like marble and tile. These boots perform pretty good on flat shiny surfaces like marble and tile, obviously, because these are slip resistant after all. So they do definitely perform well on those surfaces. They are not very good on surfaces like wet grass. They are very, very slippery, so keep that in mind. I definitely would not recommend these boots anywhere near ice and snow. This is going to be way too slippery for that. Plus these boots are not waterproof, so in the snow you're going to get the snow inside and that's it, you're going to get wet, so not very good. So if you are getting these boots for your work, as a security officer, for example, and most of your work, the walking around that you have to do is on shiny surfaces, marble, tile, you will like the traction and stability that this boost provides on those surfaces. But if you do some outdoors walking around and it involves, like for example here in Florida, in the morning, the grass is always wet, and if that involves walking on with these boots, you're not gonna like them because you will be sliding around. And I know they say that they are slip resistant, but slip resistant only on certain surfaces, not like something really, really slippery like ice, for example. Yeah, this is going to be crazy for ice, so don't even consider that. Okay, so let's move on to the criteria number 5, temperature. I would not recommend these boots for colder climates, colder temperatures, definitely not for the winter. First of all, because they're not good on ice, not good on snow, not good in snow. They are not waterproof. But also because there really isn't any insulation or anything like that. The tongue is not even gusseted in any way. You might get away some colder temperatures if you get some insulated socks and wear them with these boots. But in my personal opinion, this boots more for warmer climates, like for example here in Florida. It would be pretty good. Okay, so that was the temperature. Let's move on to the criteria number 6, the sizing. These boots are definitely true to the size. I always get my boots half a size bigger than my normal shoe size. My normal shoe size is 9.5. I get my boots in size 10. Just to give you a little bit of that extra space. With these boots, it is extremely important for you guys, if you're considering these boots, definitely get these boots at least half a size bigger, so that you have a little bit of that extra space. Because like I said, the toe box, there is really no cushioning inside of the toe box. So whenever you're walking, even if it's just down the hill walking, not even running, I'm not even talking about running, because it's really not comfortable to run in these boots. But if it's just a downhill walking and your foot's gonna slide down and bang on the front of the toe box, it will just destroy your toes, because there is no cushioning at all. Keep that in mind. Alright, let's move on to the criteria number 7, which is the balance of application. Basically, if this really was your last boot and you needed to survive in it, it's ultimate survival boot, would this be a good boot to survive in? I honestly would not pick this boot as my ultimate survival boot. First of all, it's not comfortable enough to walk the distance. Second of all, it's not comfortable enough to be fast in. You don't want to do fast movement in this boot, because it will wear you out very quickly, because it just doesn't have enough of that flexibility in places where you need it to be flexible. I do like the side zip on the boot, and I do like tactical boots with the side zip in general, because it allows you to quickly put the boots on and take them off, and specifically put them on, of course, because if something bad happens and you need to put the boots on, obviously you want something that you can put on quickly. And the criteria number 8, the very last one, let's talk about that one, is the price. And I think this is one of the reasons why these boots are so popular, is because they are actually fairly affordable compared to a lot of other boots, a lot of tactical boots out there. These boots are currently only $75, like I said in the beginning. Typically they go for about $100, but most of the times you can find them for as low as 75 bucks currently on Amazon. The link is in the description below if you are interested. However, $10, $20 more and you can actually get yourself something a lot more comfortable than this boot. For example, Under Armour Stellar Tech or Under Armour Velset. If you're looking at these boots right now, check out those Under Armour boots tech, because I've seen personally on this channel, I seen comments from the viewers saying that they have been wearing Bates for a very long time and then they switched from Bates to Under Armour and their perception of just comfort just completely changed. So try it out, especially if you're looking at for work, and you have long shifts, you have to walk around, stand all day. It's not easy. You want something comfortable, and just so make sure you check out all the options out there. So let me know in the comments below, guys, would you consider these boots for your ultimate survival? Would you get these boots for your work? If you already use them for your work, let us know in the comments below how they are serving you. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. This was Firearms of America, and I'll see you guys in the next video.